Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith, and today guys, I'll be checking out Ben Shapiro, and he'll be discussing Theo and Roseanne breaking the internet. And you guys, I'm super excited as always. If you're here to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's hear what Ben Shapiro has for us in this video.
There are a lot of headlines today about Roseanne Barr. So Roseanne Barr makes unhinged and wild statements on the somewhat regular. I mean, this is what she did on Twitter. You remember that she got herself kicked off like the top-rated show on TV. It destroyed the show because she decided to tweet bizarre things about Valerie Jarrett. Well, she was on an edition of This Past Weekend, which is a podcast by comedian Theo, and she was making jokes. And there's now an overt media attempt to deliberately misunderstand jokes. It's something that happens on a routine basis. That if you make a joke, because jokes inherently are making fun of the thing that is bad, you can very easily take the thing that the person is saying and treat it as like a straight statement about reality. If you took any Dave Chappelle monologue and you just read it straight as though it were not a joke, it'd be the most egregious thing you ever read. If you ever took a Louis C.K. comedy routine and you just read it straight, it would sound like evil. Because comedy very often is making fun of the realities of life by pointing out that we all have these bizarre thoughts and these bizarre evil thoughts are wrong.
Yeah.
Well, she's pretty clearly doing this with Theo. She makes some comments about the Holocaust that are clearly meant to be sarcastic. And the entire media ran with this as though she actually was like calling for a new Holocaust, which she clearly is not. And I gotta say, like Roseanne says crazy stuff sometimes and bad stuff sometimes, but this is obviously a media attempt to re-cancel Roseanne Barr. Here is the actual clip. In context, you can hear she's being sarcastic. It's a failed attempt at sarcasm, but it's clearly sarcasm. And you know who understands that? Theo. I notice nobody's calling for Theo to be canceled for laughing at her jokes.
There's always been a ceiling on speech, hasn't there, in a way?
Of course, nobody wants to hear the real truth. They're horrified of it. They'd rather go with bullshit. It's easier.
And
like for the real truth that, and I'm glad that they did set up all these guidelines so that we only are allowed to speak the truth. And the truth is that Biden got 81 million votes by winning 36 counties. And that is just incredible. It really, really is. And that of these 81 million supporters who gave him more votes than any president has ever gotten before, he came with a mandate from these 81 million voters. And, I'm just glad that they were very careful to make sure that nobody could detract from that proven truth. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean? Like that nobody...
That they mandated that was the truth and that nobody could say, well, what about no?
Oh, it was made a mandate.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So the government made it a mandate?
Yeah, because, YouTube did, and so did all the social...
so you can't even speak on that in those platforms?
No, you can't say,
that it wasn't.
You can't say that, like,
the
there
election was rigged.
Right. That's all a lie. The election was not rigged. 36 counties can give you 81 million votes.
Right.
That's a fact.
So it wasn't rigged?
Of course not.
Yeah.
36 counties have 81 million people in them. Yeah. See? That's the truth. And don't you dare say anything against it or you'll be off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other ones, because we have, there's such a thing as the truth and facts, and we have to stick to it. And,
it's scary.
And that is the truth. And nobody died in the Holocaust either. No. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where things start to go. Right. So she's being absolutely sarcastic, right? The entire thing about Biden's election is she believes the election was rigged. She believes that Biden did not win 81 million votes. She said this before. So she's saying they banned so she's taking the position of the YouTube censors. And she's saying in the same category of things that are false these are two things that are false, she is saying. Are Biden won 81 million votes and the Holocaust didn't happen. She's saying both those things are false, right? That's what she's actually saying. So the way the media read that is that she actually was promoting the Holocaust. Theo gets this right. He says, this Roseanne Barr clip was sarcasm, folks. A clip taken out of a long sarcastic rant she had during our chat. Can we not recognize sarcasm anymore? And the answer is no. They know it's sarcasm, but they purposely misinterpret things so as to try and pretend that people are playing it straight. This happens on the regular, by the way, on this show. And I'll do a 10-minute monologue about Cardi B's WAP. And it'll be really, really funny. Like, it'll be obviously comedic, and somebody will take it out of context and they'll pretend that I was being very, very serious when I was critiquing it. Right? This is the kind of stuff the left does on a regular basis. They're doing it to make fun of me, which is totally fine. They're doing it to Roseanna to try and destroy whatever is left of her career, which is really not fine. I want to talk to you about the Daily Wire's most trusted privacy partner and premier sponsor of this show, ExpressVPN. Using the internet without ExpressVPN, it's a dumb thing to do. It's like leaving your keys in your car while you run into the gas station to pick up like a Slurpee. Well, most of the time, it's probably fine. But one time you come out and your car is gone. You're like, oh man, that was a real bad idea. Well, every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, airports, any hacker on the same network can gain access to that personal data, such as your passwords and financial details. It does not take much technical knowledge to hack somebody. Just some cheap hardware is necessary. ExpressVPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so hackers can't steal your sensitive data. ExpressVPN is so easy to use. I love that no matter what device I'm on, the app literally has one button. You hit one button to download it and you hit one button to activate it, and now you are protected. Protect yourself the same way that I do by visiting expressvpn.com/Ben right now. You can find out how you can get 3 extra months for free. That's expressvpn.com/Ben. expressvpn.com/Ben. Go check them out right now. It's the best way to protect your online data. It's your data, which means it's your business. Go check them out right now. expressvpn.com/Ben. Find out how you can get 3 extra months for free. Let's talk about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So, I'll be frank with you, vegetables are the worst. They're just garbage. Their nature's garbage. But we must eat them, because if we do not eat them, then we'll die sooner because they make you healthy. I don't like the vegetables, but I do like Balance of Nature. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies are a great way to make sure you're getting essential nutritional ingredients every single day. Through Balance of Nature's advanced cold vacuum process, the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients of the fruits and vegetables are preserved, so you can get that vital nutrition in each capsule. Balance of Nature is a whole food supplement with no additives, fillers, extracts, synthetics, pesticides, or added sugar. Pure fruits and veggies are the things they put in their capsules, and that's it. Balance of Nature sends a bunch of their product down to the studio for my team to try. It's kosher, so I've been able to use it, and it's great. Producer Jake has been eating them as well. Got rid of those vegetables. What do you need vegetables for? I was really excited to find out the product, as I say, is certified kosher, which means that I can use it myself. For a limited time this summer, when you become a preferred customer at Balance of Nature, they're throwing in a free fruit and veggies travel set, giving you an additional $25 off your first order. Go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code Shapiro for a free travel set and $25 off your first order as a preferred customer. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Shapiro. And Joe Biden is still riding the rails when it comes to this particular corruption scandal with regard to Hunter Biden. I think we've barely scratched the surface here. So a second whistleblower has now come forward and said that Hunter Biden evaded millions of taxes, millions in tax owings to the federal government via a series of cutouts. Breitbart reports that according to the second whistleblower, Biden set up a scheme involving a Ukrainian natural gas company he sat on the board of and a Chinese business associate to willfully evade paying taxes. The whistleblower said that Hunter Biden had already owed hundreds of thousands of bucks in taxes long before his daddy became VP. In 2014, when Joe was in his second term as VP in charge of Ukraine policy, and when Ukrainian natural gas company Burisma put Hunter on its board of directors, Burisma paid Hunter Biden almost $750,000 to do little or no work. According to that whistleblower, Hunter received the money from Burisma, and then instead of reporting it as income and then paying taxes on it, he put that money into a Chinese firm run by one of Hunter's business associates who then loaned the money to Hunter Biden so he wouldn't have to pay taxes on it. The whistleblower testified, quote, "So Hunter sets this out in an email, and what ends up happening is, imagine this. If you're an owner of a company and your friend tells you that I want to pay my wages to your company and you're going to loan the money back to me, that's essentially what happened here. He took loans from that corporation, which were distributions, and then he didn't pay taxes on those loans. So essentially for 2014, we found Hunter didn't report any of the money he earned from Burisma. So the reason why this is important is because Hunter set it up this way to essentially earn the money through his friend's corporation and then have his friend pay him back half of the money as loans or quote unquote loans. He said none of it was taxed. So far, none of this has been paid or prosecuted. The statute has now run out on these tax years or on the 2014 tax years. The Justice Department actually believed Biden's defense that the money was a loan, which is an absurdity, of course. It's just ridiculous. Okay, and again, not shocking that that Hunter Biden is a deeply corrupt individual. What is continuing, it will always be shocking to me, how the DOJ and the IRS and the FBI apparently are willing to work in collusion with one another in order to avoid prosecuting Hunter Biden, because it might eventually lead up the chain to Joe. In fact, IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley, this is the first whistleblower, the one who has revealed a text message from Hunter Biden to a Chinese business person, basically telling him, hand over the money and my daddy's sitting next to me. Gary Shapley went on CBS News where he talked openly about Hunter receiving preferential treatment.
If this was any other person, they likely would have already served their sentence.
Gary Shapley was a lead IRS supervisory agent in Operation Sportsman, the investigation into Hunter Biden. Shapley said he uncovered conduct that warranted more serious charges.
There were personal expenses that were taken as business expenses. Prostitutes, sex club memberships, hotel rooms for purported drug dealers.
Shapley, who is still working for the IRS, told us that even before President Biden took office, he was directed to avoid leads involving Hunter's father.
There were certain investigative steps that we weren't allowed to take that could have led us to President Biden.
And you wanted to take them.
We needed to take them.
And you weren't allowed to take them.
That's correct.
Okay, so again, when Donald Trump talks about the deep state and the people inside the deep state who did not want this leading up the chain to Joe Biden, I mean, Shapley is a very credible source, and he's made claims now that have not been fully rebutted by the Attorney General Merrick Garland, including a claim that on October 7th, 2022, there was a meeting between David Weiss, who's the prosecutor in the Hunter Biden case, and like his entire investigative team at the IRS, saying that he has been barred from actually pursuing prosecutions in places like California or Washington, D.C. by the Attorney General. And then Merrick Garland is out there pretending that that is not the case. Well, I mean, some testimony here would be nice. Meanwhile, Jen Psaki, former White House press secretary, continues to be the White House press secretary just from abroad over at MSNBC. She says that the reason that Joe invited Hunter to dinner is because he was showing him his love, which is typically what you do with your now guilty of a misdemeanor, guilty of felony son who was funneling cash to you probably. That's what you do. You invite him to White House dinners.
I think what we saw with Hunter appearing at the state dinner was, in my suspicion, was the president, his son wanted to come, so his son's going to come to the dinner. Was that optically easier for the White House and the White House communications team? Absolutely not. But I suspect that was more in the family circumstance of him wanting to come and the president wanting to show that he loves his son and he's standing by him.
I love how a corruption scandal turns into he just loves his kid. He just loves his kid so, so much. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show continues right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll get into the vaunted Ben Shapiro Show mailbag. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro. Check out for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click that link in the description and join us.
Wow, you guys, that was such a beautiful session with Ben Shapiro. I love listening to him. I love hearing his opinions on topic. He's so unbiased. He's so raw, and I love that about him. I totally enjoy reacting to Ben Shapiro. If you guys enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up. And let me know your thoughts about Theo and Roseanna interview and how the media twisted what she meant and trying to pull down her career. This was such an interesting session, and I totally had fun reacting to Ben Shapiro. If you guys enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And this is me officially signing out. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.